Well, look, I think it became very clear yesterday that Theresa May's plan B is pretty much the same as plan A, and we've gone back in time to before Christmas where we're seeking assurances regarding the backstop on a deal that we know has no prospect of succeeding or securing a majority in Parliament. So what our amendment seeks to do is rule out no deal, as the Prime Minister has refused to rule out no deal, but it also encourages the debate of various options. So our preferred option has been set out, indeed, in line with the principles that we want to secure in a deal: a customs union, a strong single market deal, and very, very strong provisions on rights, protections, environmental standards, health and safety standards, and workers' rights. But another element of the options that are available complies with our conference motion, which states that all options should be on the table, including a people's vote, and that is to have a people's vote on any final deal of some form. And indeed, it doesn't state that the Labour policy is to have a second referendum. It simply encourages this option to be on the table so that Parliament can discuss the same if it wishes to do so. Well, if it was an individual, vote on the people's vote, of course, the party would have to take a position at that time. But, I mean, this is a divisive issue for all parties, particularly the Conservatives and the Labour Party, where we've got MPs who are very much against a people's vote for various reasons, and we've got MPs who are very much in favour of a people's vote. So we would very carefully determine our position at the time, but indeed, our job is to bring as many people together as we possibly can. And that really, is one option of many, and our priority always has been to secure a deal that really provides a consensus within Parliament. And I think that deal can be found if we're actually given the opportunity to debate various options. Well, indeed, there'll be various matters that I'm sure would be taken into consideration, and it would be very, very carefully assessed at the time. But indeed, as I've said, it's a difficult situation for a number of MPs, both those who support, a people's vote to remain, and those who very much, don't support a people's vote, for principles such as undermining democracy or, seeking to deliver a deal, that being the primary objective. Well, I'm sad that, there has been no flexibility at all. And at the moment, I can't see any other option on the table that would secure, that free trade that we all want to achieve, and would deal with the Northern Ireland situation to make sure that there was no hard border. Now, obviously, we've always said that we're open to ideas and alternative proposals, but there aren't any alternative proposals. And that's why the backstop was put in place in the first place, because there hadn't been, anything invented to deal with a customs arrangement without being in a customs union. So at the moment, that is the only option that we can see being a real feasible option, and we really hope that the Prime Minister, recognises that and starts to discuss, the option across Parliament instead of, going back in time, as I've said, to try and placate, people within her own party, which didn't really do her any favours 2 months ago, and I don't think it's going to do her any favours now. Well, we wouldn't need to have a backstop per se, because our customs union would be a permanent backstop, if you like, because we want to have that permanent customs union arrangement. But there would have to be whatever happens, an arrangement in place to make sure that there was free trade and that wasn't encumbered in any way, and also making sure that there wasn't a hard border in Northern Ireland. So we've always said we're willing to be flexible, but the only option that we can see as a real possibility is that customs union option.